Hello everyone, welcome to the Ozark Outpost. This is Global War 85, Operation Nike, Soviet Global Command 8.3. I hope you brought a lunch. This is going to be a big one. Okay, we're going to start off with tech, PGM, computers, advanced SLBM, chem, and Top Gun. Okay, there's PGM, there's chem, and there's Top Gun. The other two missed. So PGM is stage 1. Chem is finished. Immune to chemical disruption. And Top Gun is also finished. Yeah. The talking to they gave the boys at the Ministry of Dice Rolling must have made an impression. Maybe a 9mm impression. Okay, military aid and purchase. There we go. Okay, they're going to send Warsaw Pact a fighter and a SAM for 11. They're starting a cruiser for FEC for 5. For themselves, they're spending 12 on 2 MBTs and 2 SPAGs, 8 on 2 more MBTs, 12 more on 2 attack choppers, 4 more on 2 SPAGs, and saving 1. Combat. All right. Combat movement. Okay, the 2 SSNs from I-10 are going to move up to I-11, and they are each shooting 2 anti-ship missiles into I-6, where there will be an American destroyer and 2 frigates for 3 AMD shots. Okay, next, I'm going to do all the Navy stuff first. Next, here in the South Atlantic, this SSN moves down to A44, comes off silent running, and is firing 2 anti-ship missiles into A42. Okay. Next, the SSGN and A15 moves down to I gotta check something real quick. Okay, this SSGN is going down here to A25, where it is going to come off silent running, and it is going to shoot a pair of P700s into A26. The SSGN from A30 is also going to move up to A25 and shoot 2 P700s into A26. Okay, over here, everything in A7 minus the helicopter carrier And let's see. Those two guys stay there, minus the helicopter carrier and the super carrier. He's going to remain in that zone for now. The rest of them are going in here to A6 to attack the NATO fleet. The ASF, the fighter, and the naval attack bomber are going in to join that attack. And then the little fleet in A10 is all going in there to join that attack. Okay, also the Tu-22M from Murmansk is going 1, 2, 3, 4 to A6, where it is going to shoot a pair of KH-22s into the miners' shipyard in Scotland in a port strike. The ASF from Murmansk is coming along to escort the Tu-22. So he's escort over here. He's not taking place in this naval battle. All right. I think that's all of our action at sea. Now, we're going to have some land combat. Okay, first thing we got going on here, let's zoom in just a little, is in Marmara. Everybody from central Turkey is attacking into Marmara. The artillery will be shooting chemical. The attack bomber is going in with them. And from up there, you see him there maybe in Baltic states. There's a strategic bomber and 2 ASFs. They are coming down. The strategic bomber is going to carpet bomb, and the ASFs are coming along for air superiority. That's what they do. So let's get these guys down here as part of the whole group. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he could, and they have plenty. Also, as part of the attack on Marmara, the major air base there in eastern Ukraine is shooting a cruise missile in there. 1, 2, 3. The major air base in western Ukraine is also shooting a cruise missile in. It can go 1, 2, 3, right like that. Okay. I think that's it for that one. And then, oh my God, look at that, target markers in Saudi Arabia. The force here in Basra is attacking northern Saudi. There is well, this guy has to stay behind. There is an artillery as part of this group that is going to shoot chemical in here. And the SRBM is also going to shoot chemical. They're going to hit them with everything they got. And then from Baghdad here, we have an attack bomber that's coming down here to do a surgical strike in Makkah. And he is escorted by me make sure of this. Oh wait, there's a couple other guys got to stay behind. Paramilitary's got to stay in Basra too. I'm going to split them up. 2 fighters are going to join this attack in northern Saudi for a little extra firepower. The other 3 are going to escort the attack bomber in its surgical strike on Makkah. And I think that's everything. Yep, looks like that's it. All right. So, we're going to start out with the naval combats. So the first thing, we've got these 2 SSNs shooting a total of 4 anti-ship missiles into I-6. And as I said before, the U.S. fleet has 3 AMD ships, well actually 4. They've got an ASF on their carrier. I think that's still a rule. I think it is. So they're actually going to have 4 AMD shots. Okay, all the AMDs missed. So now we have, I don't know, remember if I mentioned the missile attack in A-26 is going to have spy satellite. So here's the 4, not 2. Here's the 4 anti-ship missiles. 1, 2, 3 hits. 3 hits. Okay, so 3 hits. All right, they're going to have to take the 2 frigates, and they're going to put a damage on the supercarrier, which means their flight ops are going to be reduced. Yeah. Yes. So, well, actually, I'm just going to do that now so I don't forget. The fighter will have to come off there. It's going to land in, UAE. And something just occurred to me looking at this. I'm pretty sure the rules for naval or for the ASW expansion state that I think a fleet carrier or a super carrier has ASW flight ops of 2. But according to the setups from the expansion, we've got a total of 4 ASW units on board that carrier. Now, I'm not going to worry about it right now. It is what it is, but somebody's going to have to come off because of reduced capability. So the, hang on. I want to make sure I choose the weaker one to get rid of. The Vikings are also going to land at UAE. The ASW choppers hit a little harder. Well, actually, one is going to land there. Like I said, I'm not sure about that discrepancy. One of them will remain. One damage, one flight op removed. Okay, so that's that. That one is done. Next, we will come over here for 2 anti-ship missiles shot into A-42. Now, there's just a destroyer there, so there's no AMD. So we got 2 missiles flying in hot, and they get 1 hit. Now, who do you hit? Do you hit the destroyer, or do you hit the tanker? We probably better hit the tanker. It's going to cost a little bit of money, but killing the destroyer doesn't do anything to protect the tanker. Well, it does for this turn, but not on any future turns. Okay, so next we got the goings on here. Now, since these guys are by themselves, and they're firing missiles from here, this Viking will get to take a shot, but their missiles get shot at the same time as they shoot, so they still get to fire their missiles. They're shooting 4 P700s. There's a cruiser and frigates, so there's going to be 3 AMD shots in that zone. Okay, 3 AMDs, 1 hit. So 1 P700 is shot down. The other 3 are going in with full target select. And they got 1 hit. The other 2 missed. Okay, now the Viking gets to shoot at the SSGNs. Misses with a 12. Okay. So 1 target select hit out of everybody in this zone, and of course they are going to target select one of the sea lifting units. And they're going to choose to target select a sea lifting MBT. Okay, next we will do the port strike on Scotland, and then we'll do the big fleet battle I'll have to put on the battle boards. But this one's straightforward. So the minor shipyard gets 1 shot at each missile. Those both missed. So now we got 2 KH-22s coming in. And it looks to me like 2 hits. So the NATO amphib here is sunk. In port. Oh, and NATO elected not to come out and try to get them. They got their hands full with everything else. All right, so now I will get the big Navy battle set up on the board. Okay, here we are all set up. A couple of ASW choppers that aren't in the fight, so they're in the retirement box. You see everything else there. Okay, so first up, we will have an ASF for the Soviets. That is a hit with a 5. So there's an air superiority hit. Next, we got a fighter in air superiority. That's a 5. That's another hit. 2 air superiority hits. Okay, now we have 2 frigates at 2. There is 1 general hit. We have a diesel boat at 3, miss. Destroyer at 4. There is, well, that's a submarine. Well, actually, there is a NATO diesel boat, so that is a submarine. Target select. Mark that on there. Then 2 cruisers. 2 more general hits, takes that up to 3. And an attack bomber. There is a hit that goes up to 4. And then the 2 battle cruisers, the big boys. And look at that, they both missed. Can you believe that? Okay. We've got a super carrier and an amphib, each defending at 1. There is 1 hit. 1 general hit for the defender. Okay, now we have a frigate, miss. Diesel sub, miss. Attack bomber at 4, miss. Good God. Cruiser, miss. Holy shit. 2 fighters. Well, that's just about the worst defense die you could possibly have. Okay, so the submarine target select by the Soviets kills the NATO diesel boat. That's clear. 2 air superiority hits by the Soviets are going to take out the attack bomber and 1 fighter. That's cleared off. And then 4 general hits. Okay, since the air is taking a beating, they're going to take the first 3 hits. That is 3, right? I mean, that's terrible to have happen, a brain freeze like it's something I should automatically know. Yeah, that's what I thought, 3 hits. So they're going to take the first 3 hits on the super carrier and sink it. And then the 4th hit on the amphib and sink it. That's cleared off. And then 1 hit by the defender, and the Soviets will lose a frigate. And of course, they're going to press the attack. So this Soviet fighter goes over here to its normal place. Okay, so we have a Soviet ASF. There's a miss. 1 frigate, miss. 1 diesel boat, miss. 1 destroyer, miss. Whew, it must be these dice. 2 cruisers, both miss. 1 fighter. There is a hit finally. 1 general hit by the fighter. Attack bomber, miss. 2 battle cruisers. The battle cruisers get 2 hits. That goes up to 3. Okay, Those dice are going away. Defending frigate, miss. Cruiser, miss. Fighter. Okay, there is one hit by the fighter in defense. So NATO will lose the frigate, and actually they had to take 3 hits. They only got 3 units left, so that's it. NATO's done. And Warsaw, or the Soviets, have to take 1 casualty, and they're going to take that. They're going to take that on a frigate. Okay, let me get things put back. Okay, we got the fleet straightened out there. Let's see, that one's retiring for the moment. There's what is actually in A6 at the moment. Okay, that's it for the sea battles. Now we go to land combat. So we'll do Moramara first. Okay, we're set here. There's the look at everything. The NATO rocket artillery will be shooting mines. And of course, the Soviet rocket artilleries will be doing a barrage attack. Okay, so first up, we have Soviet artillery shooting chemical. Okay, those both miss. Now we have 2 rocket artillery in barrage attack, 3 dice each at 2. There's 1 hit. So there's 1 first strike hit. Okay, now we have, there's no SAMs, so there's no AMD for NATO. We got 2 cruise missiles for 2 hits. So that's 3 first strike hits. Now we've got NATO shooting mines in defense. Those miss. Okay, so there's 3 first strike hits against NATO. Well, obviously they're going to take the rocket artillery. And they're going to have to take their artillery and their light infantry. That's cleared off. Okay, now we continue on. So 2 Soviet ASFs, both miss. We have a Soviet SPAG. It gets 1 air superiority hit. Okay, now we have Soviet strategic bomber carpet bombing. Those all missed. We have 4 mechs. 4 mechs at 2 because of mountain terrain. The next gen MBT will also come down. Okay, the mechs all missed. Why in the world do I have a diesel boat on there? That's left over from the sea attack. He belongs over here on this fleet card. So let's just get him over there. All right, next we have a next-gen MBT. That is a general hit. And then the attack bomber. That is also a general hit. Okay. NATO's ASF in defense. There is an air superiority hit. Okay, now we have an A10 at 5. That's a 3, which is for an A10 is a land target select. And then 2 mechs. Those both missed. Okay, the air superiority hit. NATO is going to take the air superiority hit on the A10. Okay, that's cleared off. Now they have to take 2 general hits, which they're going to take on the ASF. Wait, 2 general hits. So they got to take the ASF and 1 mech. That's cleared off. Okay, land target select in defense. It is not an armor penetration, so they are going to take out the artillery. That's cleared. And then the Soviets have to take 1 air superiority hit, which they will take on an air superiority fighter. That's cleared off. Okay, the rocket artillery goes to the retirement box. The strategic bomber goes to the retirement box. Spag goes to the retirement box. The cruise missiles are done. Okay, that's what we're left with. Oh wait, the ASF also goes to the retirement box because there's no air units left. Okay, so 4 mechs at 2. There is 1 hit. The next-gen MBT misses. The attack bomber also misses, but they did get the 1 hit they needed. Okay, so mech defends for a miss. All right, NATO is wiped out. Marmara has fallen to the Soviets. That's going to have some implications. Let me get her straightened out. I spoke too soon. Marmara is not the one with implications. Saudi Arabia is. But anyway, there's the situation now in Marmara. The Soviets hold all of Turkey, and of course the Turkish Strait is now open to the Black Sea Fleet. Okay, I'm not going to battle board this because there's not that much there. So, as a matter of fact, I'm going to roll the fighters first in northern Saudi and see if it just ends like that. And it does. There's a hit. Okay, so the paramilitary defends and misses. Back over That comes off. That roundel goes on. And it's not worth anything. Oh, Marmara is though. I got to make that adjustment. So the Soviets go up 2 to 45. NATO goes down 2 to 42. Okay, now we have the surgical strike. Yeah, the surgical strike into Macau. And since he has to go up against 3 fighters, this fighter is not going to scramble. So, attack bomber goes in and misses. No joy. That comes off there, and I believe that's the end of combat. Okay, non-combat. With the exception of 2 paramilitaries, the force in Baghdad is moving down here to Basra. And that's this card right here. 2 MBTs, 2 SPAGs, and a SAM have moved from Baghdad to Basra. And there are 3 MBTs, an artillery, and a mech currently in northern Saudi. All right. Go up north for a second. The Bear F that is on ASW patrol in A8 is returning to base and lands in Murmansk. What was the other one up there? I just looked at it and it slipped right out of my mind. Ah, yes. Okay, get up like that a little bit. All right. The amphib in A13 bops over to A14. It loads up this attack chopper from Baltic States, comes back to A13, and deposits that attack chopper in Svealand. Okay, next. Next, we're going to have a little bit of sea lift. Soviets don't do a lot of that, but this time they are going to do some. Okay, we got 3 units here, 1 from Leningrad and 2 from Baltic States. They're all going 1, 2, and they're going to deposit themselves in northern Germany. So we have a SAM coming from Leningrad. That's in northern Germany. We have an SRBM and a SPAG, all into northern Germany there by sea lift. The airborne in Svealand. Do I still want to do that? I better. Well, let me do some more here. The Tu-22M flies back to Murmansk. This ASF that comes with him is landing in Svealand. The ASW carrier and the super carrier are both, that's off of there, he got destroyed, are both coming over here to rejoin the fleet in A6. Let's get them over here. That means that these two ASW choppers in A8 landed on their ASW carrier and are no longer on patrol here. Now, the Soviets have rethought it. They're not going to do that airlift I thought about. Nope, that's it for non-combat. Okay. Place units. All right. I don't think there's anything. Oh, there is something going up here. Okay, there are 2 MBTs and 2 SPAGs going into Svealand here at the minor army base. That was part I forgot. So yes, we are going to have 1 airlift. This airborne is going to airlift out of here. And go down here to Angola to join his partner. Okay. And now I may have to get another Soviet task force card over here. We've got 2 MBTs, 2 SPAGs, and 2 attack choppers going into Baghdad. Okay, that's it for the Soviets. Now we'll deliver some military aid. So this cruiser for FEC goes on the build chart. And then the fighter in SAM the SAM is going into East Germany. Oh, I forgot on the end of NATO's turn, since they used theater missiles against Warsaw Pact, that's an automatic release authorization in return. So Warsaw Pact has placed its 2 theater missiles in East Germany. And then this fighter is going to Hungary. Okay, that's that for military aid delivery. Now I think we need to collect some money. Yeah. So you can see the Soviets are at 45. This is going to take me just a second to figure all the bonuses up here. So there's 45 base. And then Tehran, Baghdad, Akershus, Svealand. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Denmark is owned by Warsaw Pact. So there's +4 for that. And then computers, still stuck on stage 2, that's +3. No to that one, no to that one, no to that one. Possession of oil land zone, that's another +4 for Shiraz. So 45 plus 11 is 56. $56 into the Soviet treasury. Okay, missiles. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, just 3 major shipyards. Okay. So they shot 4 P700s. They build 3, so that's a net loss of 1. They shot 2 KH-22s and built 3, so there's a net gain of 1. They shot 2 cruise missiles. Yeah, they shot 2 cruise missiles and built 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shot 2 missiles, so that's a net gain of 5. Add a red chip to that stack. They shot, what am I doing? I'm doing stuff over here on the wrong pile. Okay, so we're back over here. We shot 2 cruise missiles, so that's still a net gain of 5. Red chip goes there. I did that. And I ship missiles, they shot 4, they shot 6, and they built 3, so that is a net loss of 3. Okay, I think all that's right. Ozark Outpost, over and out.